Let's look to Sunday, the final day of 2023, the final day of a Week 10 matchup. Let's see who we can add to win your week, Michael Bolton.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy Basketball, your daily fantasy basketball podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd, and like my loafers, former Gophers. I'm also the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com, and you can find me on Twitter, as always, at redrock_bball, on TikTok at redrock_bball, and on Instagram at Locked On Fantasy Basketball. Today's episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, the easiest and the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnNBA, use the code all lowercase LockedOnNBA for a first deposit match up to $100. Thank you also for making Locked On Fantasy Basketball your first listen every day. We are free and we are available on all platforms. You a double banger? Be a double banger. Watch the video, download the audio, watch the video. Play them both. Play them all the way through, all the playlists. Just get them cracking. Hit subscribe, hit thumbs up, hit notification bell. I think you know what to do. We're here to talk about the final day of the year, the final day of Week 10. Let's get a win in our matchup. I have already done a breakdown on the OG Anunoby, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley deal, so you can go check that out earlier today. Go find out what I think about the deal there. Let's just focus, though, on what we're looking at for Sunday. Who can we stream in? What value can we get? Let's start off with an injury update. The Italian cock, Danilo Gallinari, has been ruled out with a back issue. Not that many people were streaming him, but it does just mean that Mike Muscala then gets the backup center minutes. Lonnie Walker is still out with his hamstring issue. Jingle and Joe Ingles is out. Nasir Littleface remains out for the Suns. Zach Collins, I did have listed doubtful after he sprained his ankle last game. He is actually officially out now. The Spurs have 3 quality games next week, none back-to-back, so you might, is it worth holding on to Collins, even though Wemby's going to sit out back-to-backs? Is it worth holding Collins when he might miss some of those games and only play 18 to 20 minutes in them? Not sure. That's a harder decision to make because his value as a backup is not there. His value as a spot starter is great, but now he's hurt as well. And then in Atlanta, which actually has an impact for Sunday, Onyeka Okongwu is doubtful. So that is important because Okongwu dealing with an illness because their backup center situation is not particularly strong. And it does boost a lot of value for some guys. In Washington, Tyus Jones is questionable. So if he is out, do they have to run with Delon Wright? They might. Or do they play Jordan Poole at point guard? We'll see what happens there if he's out. It is the Lakers with a back-to-back. I'm going to list Anthony Davis and LeBron James and Cam Reddish as questionable. Darvin Ham already said that they would play, but who knows? If it gets into an overtime game or they tweak something, we just don't know. So I'm going to label all those guys as questionable. Ken Murphy III has popped up on the injury report. That is Trey, for those of you who are unaware. He is questionable, we believe, with knee soreness. Not great. He had the knee surgery, so watch that one. That would activate a little bit more. Herb Jones, Dyson Daniels, Najee Marshall, those sort of players. The Duck, Luke Kennard, is officially questionable. I was guessing that he was questionable before this. That's what the asterisk is. He is officially questionable. We've got John Conchar as questionable. Derrick Rose as questionable as well. Pants Kevin Huerter left the last game for the Kings with a hand issue. We haven't had an update on that, so I'm going to put him questionable for now. If he is out, you get a little bit more Malik Monk, thankfully, and some Chris Duarte, which I just don't care for. Wendell Carter Jr. is questionable. He missed the last game with knee tendonitis. If he is out, we do stream pretty heavily Goga Badadze. Really hard to trust Wendell at this point. And then, unbelievably, out of nowhere, Markel Fultz is questionable. Could he be returning? I guess so. We have seen him questionable once before already, and then there was a setback. So is he worth a grab? It is hard to tell. The knee injuries obviously lasted a very long time here. Not even a real injury, just soreness, which it is an injury, but nothing acute that we saw happen on the court. His impact will be there on guys like Mr. Black and players like that, and Jalen Suggs and Cole Anthony. He's okay to add, but I'm limiting my expectations. Gaz Harris has also been listed as questionable, as has Johnny Isaac. And then a couple of probable tags. Nicky Claxton's probable, and Josh Okogie is probable in Phoenix. That's the first of a back-to-back for the Suns as well. They play the Sunday-Monday back-to-back. I would expect that there's a risk that Bradley Beal sits on Monday. Keep an eye on that. Maybe Eric Gordon. He has sat some of the back-to-backs so far this season. Not all of them, but he has sat on some of them. Today's episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. It's also the easiest and the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Instead of worrying about thousands of people in a tournament, instead of worrying about pros and sharks coming for you and taking your money and all the time they have to put into things, it's just player projection stats. That's it. They put a stat up on Prize Picks and you just choose more or less. They've got a wide range of players, a wide range of individual stat projections as well. And they've got it across multiple different sports. You just pick between 2 to 6 of those individual player projections that you choose more or less on, and you can win up to 25 times your money back. $10 in, $250 out. $5 in, $125 out. That's simple, it's easy, it's fun. Fast entries, fast withdrawals, easy to look at player projections. It's so simple over on PrizePicks. So go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnNBA. The code is LockedOnNBA as well, and you get a first deposit match up to $100. That is prizepicks.com/LockedOnNBA. The code is LockedOnNBA, and you get that first deposit match up to $100. PrizePicks is daily fantasy made easy. So let's take a look at the things we need to watch. Not the things we need to watch. Who can we stream in? Let's start with some points league streaming. And I'll tell you now, like the Yahoo top 6 guys I'm looking at here, all 45% rostered and below, is the same list for ESPN points league streaming. The order is marginally different, but I just put it up as the same order because these are the 6 guys that I'd be targeting. That would change if guys get ruled out, in particular like a Tre Jones in Washington would really jump the value of a Corey Kispert and a Delon Wright up in that scenario. In San Antonio, a couple of guys I'm looking at there, Tre Jones and Jeremy Sohan. They're both available in a lot of leagues. I do believe, again, I don't know why I think this. I just think in like a week or 2 weeks' time, we're going to get a run of Tre Jones starting. I don't love him as a point guard. I don't love him as a point guard. Yeah, he's great at that job. I don't love him as a long-term starting option, but I do think he's going to get this chance soon. I do. I don't know why. I just think it's going to happen. Sohan's been playing a little bit better, still inconsistent, but he's worth cracking there. Lou Dort, well, you know what Lou Dort's going to be. He's going to Gattuso us most of the time, but there's options there. Delon Sharpe has really been putting in really strong work, even as Claxton's backup. In 18, 19 minutes a night, he puts up huge numbers, and that is still useful. By the way, Sunday, not a very good streaming day. Not many great options that have opened up. That could change if guys like, if Fultz ends up out again, or Wendell Carter remains out, or the Lakers scratch a bunch of guys there too. Rui Hachimura is worth a points league stream, as is Dorian Finney-Smith, new starter for the Nets. I wouldn't drop Cam Thomas yet, but we're edging towards that. So just be aware of that. Just hold for now. Like I said, ESPN points, same list of dudes over there as my top 6 options to stream in for a points league. If you are in a category league and you're looking to win the points category, I've got Hachimura and Dort up the top. They're hit or miss. Hachimura, gigantic black hole, so if he gets the ball, he's going to shoot it. They're playing him a larger role. Is it working? I don't know. No, probably not. But we'll see how Rui looks here. Lou Dort can have 4 points on 9 shots or 20 points on 5 shots. Probably impossible to get actually 20 on 5 shots. But he does have those ups and downs. We know this. Corey Kispert, value could really spike if Tyus is sidelined, but I still like the value of him here anyway for points. The pencil Harrison Barnes. Barnesy. He's always worth a crack there. Although, last game, what a stinker. They were getting absolutely cooked by the Hawks. So don't look at Barnes playing 11 minutes ago. Well, I guess he's done out of the rotation. They just went to a bunch of different guys off the bench because their starters were getting absolutely destroyed. Barnes should be back playing that 28, 29-minute role. Of course, we do not roster him long term. But as a streamer, he is an option there. Malachi Branham and Eric Gordon, some other guys for points. This is what I mean, where it's not great options for streaming. When I have to sit here and recommend Rui Hachimura, Lou Dort, and Harrison Barnes, you know that I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel because they are players that I don't love as players. I don't love in terms of when I project them out, and here they are sitting at the top of lists. That's not a great day in terms of just finding unearthed talent to stream in. In terms of threes, the artist formerly known as Taurean Prince, he is hit or miss, but he's going to at least take a lot of them. So there is 5, 6, 7 3-pointer upside. They might go 1 of 9. He might have 7 of 9. But the opportunity is going to be there. Dorian Finney-Smith doesn't really take any other shots apart from threes. So as a starter, 30-plus minutes, he could hit 3 or 4 of them. Corey Kispert, that's all he does as well. Same as Isaiah Joe, who's going to be a 2 or 3 3-pointer guy. Eric Gordon, even though Beal is back. Gordon still played 30 minutes last game. And then Slam and Sammy Hauser in Boston. Even though we expect Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, and Horford to all return, Hauser should be fine to hit his 2 or 3 triples coming off the bench. And you've contributed in that category. So all of these guys, you feel relatively comfortable that you're going to get the opportunity to get at least double digits. That's not what 2 is. 2 it's a single digit. You get more than one, a multiple of 3s coming from these jokers. In terms of rebounds, I don't think there's any other option apart from Delon Sharpe. He's an elite rebounder. He's a double-digit rebound upside player coming off the bench. Jared Vanderbilt, it's all he does as well is get rebounds, so he's worth a look there. You've got Jeremy Sohan, Dorian Finney-Smith, just starters minutes, 6 or 7 boards can come. But one of the ones, and amazingly, again, this is a bad streaming day, there are numerous players that I'm going to reference today who have 0% rostered on Yahoo. One of them is Bruno Fernando. Houston Rockets starting legend, Alperen Şengün minimizer, Bruno Fernando, is the backup center in Atlanta. Capella cannot play every minute. Jalen probably doesn't play any center. So Bruno might play 19. Look, how much can Clint play? 33 max? So it's 15 for Bruno. What if Clint plays 28? Bruno gets 20. Bruno does have an interestingly fantasy-friendly game. And he can get double-digit rebounds. And nobody has him. I'm not saying that you need to rush to grab Bruno Fernando because you don't. But if you're desperate for a rebound guy, and his name is actually going to come up again on this show, he is there. He is there. And the other one who's just barely rostered anywhere is Trey Lyles. He played 27 minutes last game. He won't do that every game, but he's in the rotation. He's a 19-minute player. 5 or 6 rebounds out of him. Like that can help. That's what we're trying to scrounge always, just to get that little bit of help at the end of a week if that's what you're looking for. In terms of assists, it is pretty bad. If you don't get Tre Jones, you might not be good at it. Dennis Smith's the other one, though. He's wildly available, and widely as well. I don't know if I said wildly. He's 96% available, Dennis Smith. And I think he's been having 12-team streamable value for a little bit of time here. Yes, Dinwiddie is back, but Smith can still play 17 a night, 5 assists. Not many other good ones out there. Jeremy Sohan getting his assist, still not doing as much playmaking as before. Delon Wright, some upside if Tyus Jones is out. Could be a 4-assist player, that's okay. Malachi Branham, he has had a couple of 7 or 8 assist games. I don't really trust it, but the minutes are there, and then we go down to Peyton Pritchard, who's available everywhere. But as you'll see, like Smith, Wright, Branham, and Pritchard, they're available in 95% of leagues. So if you are looking for assists and you're just looking to grab someone with 3 or 4, maybe they're the guys that you go for. They're not stupendously good, but they're there. In terms of streaming for steals, well, this one could actually blow right up, and that is Delon Wright. Because if we do get a scenario where Tyus is out, I don't know that they would start Delon necessarily. They could, but I don't know that they would. But that would surely mean he's got like a secure 21 or 22 minute a night role. They might go Poole Kispert as the 1-2, but then Delon's got to get that pretty strong run of minutes. The cashier, Xavier Tillman, big steals guy usually, even though last game it was 5 blocks. Still don't trust it long term, but widely available. Dennis Smith, elite steals guy. Bilal Coulibaly. Could he get extra minutes if Tyus is out? His playing time's been down, but he has been a pretty solid steals guy. Cameron Reddish, if he does play, I expect him to play, but if he does, and then Tre Jones. So you'll see a lot of the steals guys. There are some just guys available everywhere that you can potentially get in to help you in that steals category. Today's episode is also brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. As the weather gets colder, the offers on FanDuel, they get absolutely red hot because right now new customers can get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That is $150 if your team wins. So if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. They've got all the different bet types, spreads, money lines, totals, player props, parlays, futures. It is all there over on the old FanDuel. Go check it out. It's the app, easy to use, simple to use. Go to FanDuel.com to Locked On. FanDuel.com/LockedOnNBA. That's the thing. FanDuel.com/LockedOnNBA. And get ready for the NFL playoffs. Get ready for the NBA season. And get ready for the new year. FanDuel is an official partner of the NFL. And don't forget to gamble responsibly. Let's round this show out by looking at some blocks stream options, and that is where old mate, Dancing Queen himself, Bruno Fernando, is up the top. I don't know why. Why did I get that? Oh, yeah, that's why. Why did I call him Dancing Queen? Fernando, Abasong, Dancing Queen, Abasong. It's a long bow. It's a big run-up. Does it work? Maybe. Anyway, the dancing queen, Bruno Fernando, he's available everywhere. He might block 2 shots. He's going to get some run, I'm guessing. They literally have nobody else. So, apart from Capella. But yeah, as a backup, he can come in and block shots. That's what he does. Delon Sharpe, excellent blocks guy as well, even though I skipped over Bismack Biyombo, who it's a bit iffy with his minutes. I love Dayron there. Goga would be an elite guy if we hear that Wendell is out. Otherwise, in his 11 minutes, if he gets that, he can still get 2. And then we get down to Lou Dort, which is not a great one. And then Alex Len, the other 0% rostered player, who got the minutes over JaVale McGee last game. Doesn't mean that he's going to get them in this one, but if you're getting to desperation stakes, literally everybody can add Alex Len if they want, and he is sitting there. In terms of field goal percentage, a lot of the similar names jump across here. Bruno Fernando, again. Dayron Sharpe, again. Bismack Biyombo. Mo Wagner, who's a very good field goal percentage player and would see a big value boost if Wendell Carter is out. Jackson Hayes, available everywhere. And Shemezi Metu, who's got the backup minutes there in Phoenix over Drew Eubanks, and he has been a relatively efficient player. For free throw percentage, we are looking at the pencil once again. Harrison Barnes, who is a good free throw guy. Expect the minutes to be higher than they were last game. Cam Reddish is there. The other one to watch here is Caleb Houston. Yeah, Caleb Houston. Now, he literally might not be in the rotation, but Harris or Ingles is out. Harris might not play. Carter might not play. Fultz might not play. Houston might get 20 minutes, and he's a pretty good free throw shooter. Again, that is available to everybody. No one, thankfully, is rostering Caleb Houston. Malachi Branham, he's a good free throw percentage guy. He's got a couple of little value pieces, and 7% rostered is very low. I don't think he's a 12-teamer, but that is very low. Tre Jones, good free throw guy, and Delon Wright, again, they're sitting available in 95% of leagues. And then, to finish things off here, we go to some other categories. If you want a 3-point percentage bump, go to Eric Gordon. If you're looking for assist to turnovers, well, we're going to Tre Jones. For offensive rebounds, it has to be Dayron Sharpe. For free throws made, I'm going to Lugens Dort. And for field goals made, I am going to Rui Hachimura. And that is a very, very quick show. But I hope you enjoyed it. That brings us to the end of the show. Are you a double banger? If you're not, why not? Jump in, hit the thumbs up, and I'll say it now because it is my New Year's Eve today. I hope you guys have a happy, a safe New Year. And don't get into too much trouble. Have a nice, relaxing evening or a party evening, whatever it is that suits you. But it's been a fantastic 2023 for me, for this channel, for hopefully for you guys. I've really enjoyed all the support that everyone has brought to me across the channel, helping me reach 70,000 subscribers on the way to 80K, being double bangers, Basketball Monster subscribers, Twitter followers, all that stuff. I really appreciate everyone's support in doing all of that. And it's been great, and I never thought that I'd be in this position to do this. So again, thank you to everyone who has helped that become a reality. So, one last thing for 2023. Thumbs up, subscribe, notification bells, comments, shares. It helps everything, guys. We are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. See ya.